Hey, kia ora everybody.
Hello.
My name's Emily and this is
Alan.
And we are Science in a Band, or as some people are saying in the comments, Science in a Garage.
Yes.
Absolutely right. We usually go into schools and do science shows, but obviously we can't do that at the moment. So we're here live streaming to you straight from our garage in Mangere East in the good old 275.
Yeah.
So good to see you. Thank you to all the people. Our regulars are here. I'm excited. Somebody's already asking that question. It's so good to see you. We hope you're having a good day. Shout outs to all of you who have joined us. Really appreciate it. As always, Facebookers, we're fine with you watching through Facebook, but we interact with comments and stuff through YouTube. So please go to YouTube and subscribe, because today we're going to be doing lots of fun stuff.
Maze is telling us we're Science in a Garage. Yay, you're excited about seeing us, Maze. That's all good. We might have to change our name. Who knows?
Also, today we're going to be using the Minion. The vacuum jar. So the Samuels whānau asked on like day one or something. They were totally onto it.
Quick at the stops.
They were really quick. They were asking what happens when you put water in the vacuum jar. So we're going to be thinking about that today. And we did ask you yesterday, what temperature does water usually boil at? So something to think about. People were very quick on that too.
Yeah.
I've done that already. I'm onto it. But what I do need to say is, can somebody tell us how many subscribers we have in the comments, please? I can't see at the moment, but I think we're up to about 607 or something. Now, we did say if we got up to 1,000 by tomorrow, we would go outside and do the classic Mento and fizzy drink experiment. I'm managing my expectations. I don't think we're going to get 400 subscribers. Or how many?
608.
608. Oh, thank you, everybody, for letting us know. So we're not going to get like hundreds more by tomorrow, and that's all cool. So when we do get to 1,000, Alan, you had a good idea.
Yep. So basically, what we think is we've done so well to get to 600. That is awesome.
That's really cool.
We do need to get up to 1,000 just for a technical issue of being able to use our phones and get outside and do this. But hey, we haven't reached 1,000, and that's okay. We're going to keep doing this, maybe not in this format, but we're going to keep really keeping our YouTube stuff up now. We've got such a good foundation. We've got such a good audience. So the deal is whenever we hit 1,000 subscribers, we are going to do the Mentos and Fizz experiment. And the exciting thing is whenever we hit the 1,000, we're going to do that experiment. So it might be why we're sitting around here doing this.
It could be in a year.
It might be when we're out on the road. We could be anywhere on the road. I could even be in my pajamas. And if we hit 1,000, that's it. We're just doing it.
Whoa. When you mentioned this earlier today, I thought you meant, we hit 1,000 and then like the next day we'll just do it. But you're just literally saying any time and 24 hours a day, any time.
I reckon we've just got to respond to it. I reckon once we get
What if we drove into the supermarket?
Well, maybe we just need to make a special holster and we'll have Fizz here, the Mentos here, and whenever it happens, boom. Oh no.
I kind of like it. I like the challenge. Okay.
In this day and age, I might be getting a bit silly, but in the climate we are,
I like it.
I reckon anything's possible, you know?
I think, to be honest, Alan, the chances are we'll probably be in our pajamas because high percentage chance there. But that's okay. We've got good pajamas, thank goodness. Yeah, so what?
There's been some comments.
Yeah.
There's been some comments. Maze thinks I've got a great idea, so thank you, Maze. You're awesome. I've just lost it, but there was a comment.
What?
Yeah, where's your uniform? We've got a slight issue here.
Yeah, well, to be honest, Alan, I don't want to shame you out, but I was going to ask you the same thing because it's Friday. Today's Mufti Day, Alan. Didn't you get the memo? No,
I didn't get the memo on that one, Em. So Mufti Day. So do you have to pay to wear your own clothes?
Yeah. So we're raising money for the sausage sizzle next week.
Cool.
So I brought money. So you're like the only kid here in the uniform.
Oh, come on, guys. There's got to be someone else that's turned up in their uniform. Put in the comments if you've turned up in the uniform.
No.
If you haven't, it's looked like I'm the only Louis loser here and the only one in their uniform. So we've got a lot coming up today. We've got Joker for Day right at the end. I didn't get the memo. It's Mufti Day. But, Em, what else are we going to do?
Well, I thought yesterday we did a shout out to Matthias and Adrian. Matthias goes to Fairbairn Primary, just down the road. We shouldn't have favourites, we don't. But we were really impressed because Matthias was about the first one to see him through what he's doing at home, which made us super happy.
Cool.
So Matthias has been planting sprouts with us.
Cool, excellent.
If you want to get a shout out of the day, get your adults to send us some photos of you doing sciencey stuff. So Matthias is quite good at remembering to water his sprouts. I'm not so great. But we did some planting yesterday. I'm going to hold them up to the camera to see. I don't think the alfalfa's changed that much.
I reckon it's.
Do you reckon?
I reckon it's swollen a bit.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Swollen up a bit.
So that's day 2 of the alfalfas.
Yeah.
Level 2 was the hipster mixed sprout thing. I can't remember.
Some of these have got little white like tentacles sticking out from them already. That's
I'll
amazing.
give you a closer look. They do actually look a bit different.
So that's about 24 hours.
Yeah, I'll show you the Facebookers. And the last one. These were the out-of-date ones.
Yeah.
All good. These were the Koanga ones. I think they were just mixed microgreens.
Yeah, mixed spicy.
Can you see any different? I can't remember.
Yeah. Again, I'm not going to say they're the same, but if there's a big visual difference, I won't go that far as well.
They kind of look a bit more goopy.
Yeah, a bit more swollen than that.
So I'm glad we did this now because I will remember to water them. So I'm going to do that now.
Live watering. What more could you ask for? So we've got the live watering. We're going to find out what temperature water boils at, and there might be a surprise in that for some of you. And we've also got Joker for Day. So can
I say, how interesting this? Our friend Mandy and her daughter.
Hi, Mandy. Hey, good to see you.
Did a live stream of her painting her room and watching paint dry. So, in your honour, Mandy, here we are.
Oh, it's all good. It's something that...
I'm not even joking.
It's something we've been thinking about. It's kind of like we have time.
It's
so let's do those things
and
let's appreciate those things.
Oh, I've got an observation. Some of these seeds are floating and some of them aren't.
Oh,
and I've mixed up the order. Oh, it's too late now.
Cool.
Okay, number 3 is now number 1.
Excellent. So if you want to learn more about floating or sinking, please visit our YouTube channel. We've got a live video that we did the other week about floating and sinking. So feel free to check that out. Because I'd like to point out this is day 11. This is day 11.
Day 12 of Science in the Van.
Day 12 of Science in the Van, sorry. Day 12 of Science in the Van. So what I meant to say is there's 11 videos already existing. We're making number 12. Where's that shovel? I need to get myself out of that.
You're doing good. We've talked about heaps of stuff. And I just want to remind you all this week, it's Friday apparently, we've been talking about materials, material properties, what they look like, how they behave. And we've also touched on the periodic table, thanks to this lovely tea towel. Well done, Alan, from the Cabbage family. Yeah. And also, we've been talking about the states of matter. So there's lots of states of matter, but the common ones are solids, solid out, liquid, and gas. That doesn't mean a little fart.
Yeah, so...
Sorry.
And mainly they go through those changes thanks to temperature. Yep. Yeah. Okay, so cool. Excellent. So
let's get on to the minion,
my friends, we are going to do a little experiment here with the minion. I'm just going to remove its headphones.
AKA the vacuum jar.
And I'm going to remove the goggles.
I'll hold this.
There we go. So Emily's going to be a camera person for this as well.
I'm ready.
Here I have a cup of water. I'm going to put a cup of water into the vacuum jar. In a few moments, I'm going to turn on the vacuum jar and we're going to remove all the air from around the glass. So all the air around the glass, we're going to remove that from there. So Facebookers, Em's trying her best, but we do I need you to move across to YouTube for this or go and watch on the YouTube videos. I'll tell you what, if you just unclip the camera, try not touch the buttons on the side.
Like
So
that.
just
Did it.
cool. Excellent. There we go.
Did it.
So I tell you what,
I got it.
Are you good?
Yeah. Oh no. Oh. Yeah.
There you go. So my friends, I'm going to start the vacuum jar up in a moment. I want you to watch closely. I want you to watch the water inside. Please remember, all we're doing is removing the air from around the glass of water. So watch closely. So the noise you can hear is the pump working. The pump is sucking all the air from around the jar, from around the glass in the jar. So we're creating a vacuum. You should start to see bubbles forming. Can we see the bubbles forming?
On YouTube, can you tell us in the comments what you can see?
There we are. This is working pretty good.
Yeah,
there we are.
good.
So
it looks like it's boiling.
Well, actually, it is. We've actually got fizzy water going on there. I'm just gonna shut that down.
Quite cool.
And I'm just going to turn the pump off.
I'm going to put this back.
This will change as we watch it, but I've left it as a vacuum. So my friends, what's happening here is the water is actually boiling. The water in the glass is actually boiling at room temperature. We have not changed the temperature. We have not changed the temperature. The only thing that has changed is the pressure around the water, okay? Because when we change materials from a solid to a liquid to a gas, we actually change the amount of energy in it. You did an experiment yesterday, Emily, where we changed the energy in something.
Well, the thing
Just
is,
explain very quickly the experiment you did yesterday.
The experiment we did yesterday was the can.
Yeah.
So we changed the materials by temperature. So we picked up the can from a very hot place with water in it into a cold place, and lots of things changed.
Yeah. So by changing the temperature, we changed the material, the water, from a liquid to a gas. By changing the temperature, we changed the water from a liquid to a gas. And that's thanks to the change in energy. Heat is energy. So what we've done here is we've removed the air from around the glass. And because we removed the air from around the glass, the energy in the water is still the same. But it's pushing out and it's got nothing to push against.
So it's a different environment.
So it's a different environment and therefore it behaves differently. So what was happening before is the air around the outside of the water was pushing down against it, because the air we breathe is made up of stuff. Gravity is pulling it down, so that was creating pressure. We've removed that pressure and the energy in the water has got nothing to push out against, so it can now boil. So this is all to do with the change in pressure around it, and the energy in the water has got nothing to push against, so it can push outwards. And that's why we see the boiling. I'm just going to change this back very quickly. I'm going to let the air go back in. Now the water's not boiling and stuff. We're just going to take the lid off.
It got really wet in there.
Yeah, it got really wet in there. That's all good.
Can I touch the water out?
You can touch the water.
I'm a bit nervous. I'm not really sure what I'm going to get. It's not bubbling anymore. Oh, it's quite warm.
Well, yeah. Okay, cool. So the reason it's quite warm is I did cheat a little bit. I did actually use slightly warmer water, but it will work with room temperature water. I just wanted the odds in my favour, to be honest. But it's
not boiling. It's fine.
Yeah, this is just water out of the tap. So it's hot water out of our hot water tap. But like Emily said, it's not boiling. It's pretty cold and stuff. So it just feels lukewarm, if that's a measurement.
Yeah, it's not.
We go.
It's not like touching water out of the kettle. Like, why would you do that? That's real dumb. But this is fine.
So here, the point I want to make is we changed the state of matter. We changed it from a liquid into a gas, thanks to a change in pressure.
That's really good. Hey, people are really thinking on the comments, Alan. May said heat is energy. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well done. That is fantastic.
Big sentence, big bit of science.
Yeah.
Also.
This is making me thirsty.
Yeah.
Mrs. Cambridge's class, it's hilarious. Because it does, somebody else said this too, it actually looks like a fizzy drink when you're watching it, but it's different. So, like, yeah, it's a good observation.
Quick little side note, the bubbles in fizzy drinks, is a sort of sensation in your mouth, but also the CO2 is under pressure. When you take the lid off the can or the bottle, you get that noise. That pressure's being released. That actually drops the temperature off the drink inside, believe it or not.
That's cool.
When the gas under pressure is released, there's a drop in temperature. A little bit of side note for you. That's another sign of pressure changing things. Sorry.
No, that's all right.
I got excited with that comment.
I know, and it's really cool.
Right,
people, don't worry, joke of the day is coming. I forgot to tell you, don't panic.
I mentioned it twice.
But somebody has asked about this as well, which is a great observation what's on our table, because this week I've been sort of relearning that we can change materials by temperature, right?
Yeah.
Like with the can.
Yeah.
We can change.
So with the can, we heated it up.
We heated it up and then
gave
we
it
cooled
more
it down.
energy.
Yeah.
And the molecules took more space.
Then we took that energy away.
Yeah.
Killed the party.
Cool. Excellent. Cool.
And then we've just learned we can change materials by pressure.
By pressure.
Right.
Yeah.
That totally changed how the water was behaving.
Uh-huh.
And earlier on, I can't remember when, but on day something.
I think Monday.
Yeah, Monday and day one too.
Yeah, and day one. But Monday we explained this.
Yeah,
we
that's true.
explained this. There we are.
We discovered that we could change materials by mixing as well.
Uh-huh.
So on that day, we had vinegar and baking soda, and we mixed them together and they changed. If you can remember what happens or want to make a prediction, please use the comments because we love that. But I remember that they did change. Do you remember this, Al?
Yep.
Shall we do it?
Yep.
Can I have the countdown?
Yep. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Okay. It's a little leaky again. But yeah. So by the mixing, but health and safety. I can't see anything. Can you hear me, Alan?
What?
Where are you?
I've took them off.
Oh.
Yeah.
Joke's over.
Yeah.
Okay, so we mixed the vinegar and baking soda together, and they have changed. Okay, so down here we know from our experiment the other day, it's a new material, sodium acetate and water. Don't name your children that; it's a dumb name. And in here, Alan, solid, liquid, or gas?
Gas.
Awesome. Yeah.
So this is awesome. So what we're talking about is how materials change through the states of matter. And we saw here that by changing its temperature, and this is something that we're quite familiar with, changing temperature of materials. When we take water, H2O, and put it in the freezer, it is still water, but it turns from a liquid to a solid. We freeze it, and when we heat water up in a pan and we see those bubbles, that's it's boiling and it's changing from a liquid to a gas. So it's still water, but it's changing its state of matter, and that's thanks to the change in temperature, and we're very used to doing that. But the idea that we change materials through states of matter by mixing them and producing the gas here is slightly unusual, and the idea of doing it by pressure is also kind of a bit odd as well. But we saw the water turn from a liquid to a gas, so it's very different. We're used to doing it as temperature. We do kind of do it as when we mix stuff, especially in baking and cooking and stuff, this mixing stuff, and we leave yeast to foam up, and that's a gas being produced. The thing I want to say is yesterday we asked what temperature did water boil at, and a few people jumped in quick with the answer, and that's cool.
That's right.
Because the thing it highlights is we say it's 100 degrees Celsius water boils. It changes from a liquid to a gas. And that's right if we're sitting here in this environment. The environment we're most used to is where we make most of our perceptions. But we have to be aware that when we're in different environments, Emily,
like the moon,
or inside here, or even up mountains or down in tunnels,
really,
things will change. Things will change. So it's all good, and we just need to be aware of how the world around us, because this is what science is. It's one way of understanding the world around us. Helps us to understand the impact of these changes. But most of our experience is in this environment, so that's what we base most of our knowledge and perception on.
Alan?
Yep.
I just had a brain fart.
Oh, yeah? Wonder what the smell was. It's like a burning smell.
So, when the vacuum jar was on and you were sucking it all out,
yeah,
we didn't add anything in. We were just taking the air away.
Yeah.
This is really obvious probably to all of you, but honestly, even though I know this is a genuine brain fart. So those bubbles there are just water bubbles because the water's changed into a gas.
Yeah, just like when
even though I knew that, it takes me a little while to think about it.
Yeah.
So those little bubbles aren't like this.
Yeah.
They're not like helium. They're like water molecules.
They're like water molecules. That's exactly what those bubbles would have been full of water molecules, but the water would have been behaving like a gas rather than a liquid. Another thing
I wish I was pretending to get that.
Another thing I just want to point out with what Em said is she said about removing the air. It is to do with removing the air around it, but it's not because of the material. It's because of the pressure that material is creating. I'm really splitting hairs now, and I'm getting into some of the finer science. But if we put another gas in here, and that gas would create pressure, and then we remove that gas, the same thing would be happening.
That's cool, man.
You know, I'm getting a bit beyond that.
No, but I like it. I need stuff to think about right now.
So, Emily.
Sorry about that, Alan.
So, Emily, a few people were startled that we even worked on Saturday and Sunday last week. Are we working on Saturday and Sunday this week?
Alan, due to the fact that we don't really know what day it is right now, I think if we don't keep going, we're going to get even more confused, to be honest.
Fair enough.
So I just think we've decided to stay home this weekend, right?
Yep, we're staying home this week.
We'll just keep going. We're going to have some fun stuff coming out this weekend. Fingers crossed that we get 1,000 subscribers by tomorrow. I don't actually think that's going to happen. But that's okay, just managing everybody's expectations. But we will do something fun tomorrow, even if we can't do the outside experiment. But you will need your mufti money, not to give to us, but just for an experiment. So grab a couple of coins.
Four coins?
4 coins, doesn't matter what amount.
Nah.
You're not going to spend it. It's for an experiment. All right.
Yeah.
So use those. We'll show you something fun. And on Sunday, we're going to be doing something super chilled. If you're able, if not, you can just watch on. It's fine. Get yourself like a plastic bottle. Get yourself some water, and get yourself some cooking oil.
Yeah.
If you can't get it, it doesn't matter. If you want to really mix it up, you can have food colouring, but all good. You can add that later if you fancy it. It's going to be really, really chilled. So same time on Saturday and Sunday.
But both of those shows are a little shorter.
They'll probably be a little bit shorter, but that's all good. A big shout out to the people that are telling us we came to your school. There's quite a few people today. That's so cool. It's so nice to be able to connect with you on here. And I'm sure we'll be back at some point, right? But for now, we're coming to you through the screen.
Hans was saying he was hoping to spend his money, but on
no.
On what?
And it's for free. This is just, one of our lights has just gone. That's exciting. This is just for an experiment tomorrow. And Alan, there's no Mufti Day on the weekend. So I get to wear my favourite t-shirt today because it's Mufti Day. And I bought my money. Alan is that kid at school that wears his uniform. But that's cool because all are welcome.
This ain't the joke of the day, but it's the right quality.
Oh, is it the one I think it is? It's really good.
It's the right quality. I'm going to read this.
Is this an extra?
This is an extra, but we've got another joke of the day for you as well. My brother Finn used all the milk for breakfast this morning. How dare he?
Yeah, I thought that was really good too.
It's cold.
That is so okay, Ellie. I think Matthias put a joke up earlier too. Thank you for your jokes. It makes us super happy. But because we're talking about joke of the day, Al.
Yeah.
Should we do it?
Let's do it. Drum
roll, please, everybody. It is time for joke of the day. Joke of the day. Joke of the day. Do the joke. Here we are. We're ready. We're ready.
What do you call a pig? What do you call a pig stuck in mud?
What do you call a pig stuck in mud, Alan?
Yeah, you call it groundhog. Hey.
That is quite good.
Hey, it's joke of the day, joke of the day, joke of the day. What do you call a pig stuck in mud?
What do you call a pig stuck in mud?
Groundhog. Yay!
Oh, yeah.
Joke of the day,
Yeah,
joke of the day.
yeah.
What do you call a pig stuck in mud?
What do you call a pig stuck in mud?
Groundhog. Yay! Anyway.
Day 12, eh? Day 12.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
We're loving it. Hey, we love you guys. Hope everybody's doing their love hearts. Pew, pew, pew. We love you heaps. Hey, we'll see you tomorrow. Keep the jokes rolling in. I don't have a shout out for the day today. So adults, if you take any photos of your kids watching us or anything at all, or just something creative that we've done, we'd love to encourage your hashtag parenting award action and just encourage you because you are encouraging us. We want to give back. If that's something that'll make your kids happy, just message us.
I mean, if we can keep that going, we don't want to be a pest, but use your networks if you feel it's suitable. Let everyone else know at your school and stuff. But
I'm ready to dance.
We're gonna.
I've actually stood up.
It's Friday.
It's
Let's
Friday.
get amongst it. Let's go a little bit of sliding and flying. If you know the words, feel free to sing along.
That's science in a van. I think there's literally 4 words. It works for me.
Chill.
See you tomorrow, team.